Hi, this is Michelle for Online Searching, and tonight we're going to be looking at the exercises in Module 4, and specifically we're going to be looking at the exercise that's looking at people as subjects in different journal articles. So we always will look up a person as an author of an article, but we don't usually look up the name of a person as a subject in an article. Now we know, except for famous people like John F. Kennedy or perhaps the Beatles, Library of Congress subject headings don't list the name of everybody that could be an article as a subject heading. So instead we have to find another way to find a person who's a subject in an article. And this is the way that you can do it in these different databases. So let's start with the question that they ask in the exercise. They say that there's this article on peanut allergies may not be a life sentence, and one of the people in the article that they talk about is this researcher named Dr. Robert Wood. And you can see that the author of this article is not Robert Wood, it's actually Helen Branswell. So we're not looking for a person who wrote the article, we're looking for a person who they talk about in the article. So let's start with going to a newspaper database, because newspaper databases are obviously going to have a lot of people as subjects in their articles because they're often talking about people in the articles. Medical databases are not going to be that common because they usually talk about research. They don't talk about a specific person that often in journal articles. Okay, so let's go and start off by going to the Mohawk College list of all the different databases, and we'll start with Canadian Newsstand Major Dailies, and we'll just go to Advanced Search here, and you can see the research I've already been doing here looking this up. Okay, so with this one we start off looking at the field codes, and the field codes are going to tell you all of the different fields that you're allowed to search. And you can also, when we talk about limits in search strings, this is the same thing. This would be all the fields that you can use as a limit if you want to. So you could limit something to a language, you could limit something to a publication date. In this case, we are going to be looking for person as subject. So when you type it in as a search string, you type PER and then the name of the person that you're interested in. So let's go and look this up. So we're going to type in PER, and then we're going to type in Robert Wood. And you can see here a list of all the people that show up as subjects in different articles. And let's just assume it's this Robert Wood. And just to make sure I'm getting the right person, I'm also going to type in the name Peanut and search and see what comes up. So here we can see we're finding articles about peanut allergy may not be a life sentence, and it talks about Dr. Robert Wood. So we're finding the right articles. We're finding articles about peanut allergies where Dr. Robert Wood is a subject of the article. Now, does this work in other databases? Every database is slightly different. So let's start maybe going to Medline and see if we can find an article where it has the same thing. We have Dr. Robert Wood as a subject, and maybe he'll be talked about as well. So let's go to Advanced Search, and actually up at the top we're going to go to Indexes, and here it's the same thing. You can see all the different fields that you can search in. So in this case we're going to look up a named person, and we're going to browse for Robert Wood and see if he comes up. And in this case, it looks like they do it the other way around. It looks like they go by last name and then first initials. So let's see if we can do it the other way. Wood. See what comes up. So we've got Wood R, and it says that there's only one record with Wood R in it, so it doesn't look terribly promising. But let's look it up and see what we can find. Search. A wood with a view. Nope, that's not our person, I don't think. Maybe let's try a different database and see if we can find a medical database that talks about this person. I don't know if we're going to be terribly successful. Let's try perhaps CINAHL. And again, go to Advanced Search and we can go up to, how do they do this? Indexes is here this time. And let's look for Wood. Robert. No, we don't like that. Oh yes, hang on. Named person. There we go. We found Wood R and we found 2 this time. Oh, and RK, let's choose that one as well. And search that. And still, we're finding R Wood as subjects of articles. But in this case it's Rowena Wood and Ricky Wood. We're not finding our Robert Wood. So obviously they either haven't indexed him as a subject in any of these articles, or there's no articles that actually discuss this man as a researcher. But anyway, that's how you do it. That's how we do that exercise in Module 4. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Thanks so much.